Today our lesson is about how to introduce yourself in Japanese. That's called the Jiko Shokai in Japanese language. It begins much like a sandwich, and it's easier to remember that way. So I created something called the Shokai sandwich, and Shokai means introduction, and obviously sandwich, you know what sandwich is. All right, we've got one drawn on the board. Anyway, the first word that you need to know is called hajime mashite. Okay, hajime mashite. Now, hajime means to begin. Okay, it's a verb stem. The mashite is a polite way of saying doing something. So literally you're saying we're doing a beginning. It kind of translates to cross-culturally to pleased to meet you. Okay, so we'll try that together, all right? Hajime mashite. Hajime mashite. Hajime mashite. Okay? The second part of the sandwich is obviously the meat, and that's one of the most important parts of any sandwich that we eat in life, right? So what that implies is that this part is really important in what we're conveying to the Japanese person. Watashi no namae wa. Then we're going to put in our last name and then our first name and say des. Okay? So, watashi no namae wa Ensign Blake des. Okay, now you try with your name. Watashi no namae wa. Put in your last name, put in your first name, and then say des. Now let's break that down. Watashi means I or me. The no creates a possessive, okay? It's a particle, and it's like an apostrophe S. Namae obviously means name, okay? Wa is a particle setting off the subject. That what we're talking about is up here, my name, and we're setting off what's important that comes after it, which is your last name, then your first name, because in Japanese culture, we always introduce ourselves as a part of a group first. Then des is a copula, and it means is. So you're literally saying my name as for last name, first name is. That's what you're literally saying. Obviously in English, you're saying my name is blah, blah, blah. Okay? All right. Lastly, we're going to say dozo yoroshiku. Okay? Dozo yoroshiku. Now, we're literally saying two pleases here. Dozo is a please, yoroshiku is a please. There's nothing quite like this in our American culture, but in Japanese culture, you're really saying, let's treat one another well going forward. Please treat me favorably going forward. And that's the cultural point. So let's put it all together in terms of our self-introduction. So we have hajime mashite, watashi no namae wa Ensign Blake des. Dozo yoroshiku. And then lastly, you see in parentheses, we have the word rei, which means to bow. And afterwards, that's when you bow like a toy soldier. You've got a flat board from the top of your head down to your tailbone, and you're going to bow very straight and as deep as you go. Obviously, the deeper you bow, the more humility you're showing to them and the more respect you're showing to them. And at that time would also be the time that you might present a business card with two hands. Okay, so let's do it one more time. Hajime mashite. Watashi no namae wa Ensign Blake desu. Dozo yoroshiku. And then you're going to bow. Okay, so that's how you introduce yourself in about 3 minutes time in Japanese. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you for turning into Kanji Camp Television. Kanji Camp is an advanced Japanese language and culture program that has been serving Indianapolis since 2003.